All right, so first, let's go over the typical characteristics that you're gonna find in silk and wool Persian rugs, and we'll also spend a little bit of time defining what we mean by silk and wool Persian rugs. So silk and wool Persian rugs, what they typically have is that they're either gonna have a cotton foundation, this is pretty common, but the pile is gonna be made of both silk and wool. And then on the other side, we have where the rug has a silk foundation, but the pile is also silk and wool. And typically what you're gonna find is that the weavers are gonna be using the silk in the pile to highlight the more detailed parts of the design and make the design more intricate. So the silk is used to bring attention to those parts of the design. And we'll also be going over a little bit of 100% silk Persian rugs, which have both a silk foundation and silk pile, and they use no wool at all. We'll be talking more about that when we talk about comb rugs. And then something to also consider when it comes to the characteristics of silk and wool Persian rugs is the knot density. So if you have a silk and wool Persian rug with a silk foundation, then typically you're going to find that the knot density is going to average to be higher, and it's going to be anywhere between 500 knots per square inch to 1,000 knots per square inch. And then when you are looking at a silk and wool Persian rug that has a cotton foundation, not a silk, but a cotton foundation, then typically the knot density is going to be anywhere between 400 knots per square inch to 700 knots per square inch. So that's something to notice when it comes to the knot density. Whenever it's a silk foundation, it's going to be slightly higher than when it's cotton foundation. And then finally, another thing to notice about the characteristics of silk and wool Persian rugs is the pile height, which is typically going to be a shorter pile height. And the reason for that is that having a shorter pile height allows the rug to really show off its details and the intricacies of it. And for that reason, when the rug is finished, they typically will cut the pile height shorter, and that will allow the silk and wool design to really show off.